After a time, she believed in the reality of this comedy. Therese Ruckween, the Cole Manor School occupied a stately green campus a little way upstate, nestled between an impoverished old Hudson River village and an up-and-coming town that attracted hipsters from New York and Boston on the weekends. Wildwoods stretched out behind the old red brick buildings. In the distance, the high steeple of a church rose above the foliage. Sarah parked the car and walked the brick-lined path down to the center of campus. It really was more beautiful than she remembered. He was looking straight ahead, though not at her, an unself-conscious smile on his face. He looked almost as she remembered him, innocent, engaged, open to the world and to life. She wanted to call out to him and wave, and almost did, and then she saw him laugh to someone else close by. As Sarah watched, a girl stepped forward from one of the library steps to hug Jason. The girl had long dark hair and an olive green jacket. Her smile was as open as Jason's. A thought of Juliet flashed through Sarah's mind, and she recoiled from it, shocked. She sat down on the bench nearest her, watching the two children as they laughed and chatted. She couldn't remember when she'd seen her son looking so happy, and the unbidden image of Juliet returned to her mind. Was he this way all the time when away from home? Was Sarah being replaced for him, too? On earlier visits to the school with Eric, the place had struck her as impossibly pretentious, an elite prep school where the almost 100 white student body road crew fenced and learned to ride horses after classes in, as the school's website boasted, high-tech science and vector calculus. Ordinarily privilege never embarrassed Sarah, but here it was hard to escape the awkwardness of it. There was something sad about all these kids being sequestered in the woods from the reality in which their well-off parents toiled back in the city. But today the long green lawns of the campus, its benches and little tables, seemed inviting and harmonious. Farther away down the hill, she could see the river, a placid mirror silently traversed by rowboats. Along its banks, the trees were on fire with vibrant red, orange, and yellow. It was a peaceful place, the very picture of safe, healthy, nurturing. She stood in front of the tall glass facade of the school library and waited for Jason to appear. The buildings of the campus were inspiring, venerable. For the first time, she found herself wishing she'd been a student here herself. The school housed over 500 children, many of them there because it had proven too burdensome to their parents to keep them at home. Parenting was difficult even for the wealthy. Children were a mystery even to the powerful. She looked at the students and parents going in and out of buildings. She had waited for Jason when he was born, too. He had come late on a hot summer day. At the time, her little boy had existed in her mind for so long she almost couldn't believe he was going to emerge into reality. His little kicks against her stomach, his sleeping and waking twists and turns inside her had brought out a love that she couldn't imagine attaching to a person. She had loved his being, his life, far more than her own. And when he finally came, she thought she had discovered peace in that ultimate selflessness. But he was his own person, and, with his independence, new fears had awoken in her. Before becoming a mother, she'd only had herself to worry about, to care for, to consider in that intimate, unconditional way. Now, having first found unconditional love in another person, she had found unconditional fear too, the constant awareness of her powerlessness to protect and control the life she loved so much. The darkness had returned to her then, more deep-seated than ever, a darkness she felt would take more than a lifetime to let go. Then she saw him, her Jason, walking across the lawn.